I've talked before about how I love playing whatever musical instruments I can get my hands on, and I have enough experience that I can pick up on them pretty quickly. But that kind of ends at percussion, and I really struggle when it comes to playing drums. I was in a band when I was about 13 years old, and that continued in various forms over many years. It was my best friend at the time who played the drums. He was built for it and had a natural talent for music. He also took lessons and shared some of them with me. From him I learned a basic rock beat, how to drum roll on the snare, and some simple fills. Those lessons gave me just enough knowledge to play drums in a pinch, but I was never able to grow from there. In 2016, I was invited to play bass in a local cover band. I had yet to learn to play bass, so one of the first things I did was buy a bass guitar. When I picked it up at the store, I took 2 of my kids with me. They were told to keep their hands to themselves and look around the store while I checked out my new bass guitar. 10 minutes later, they're both on electronic drum kits, banging away. They're good kids, so I could only be impressed with how eager they were to play drums. I reasoned that I should buy a kit so that they could play at home, and that would also make my studio a more suitable place for band practice, which meant I didn't have to drive anywhere. In the end, the kids only wanted to play in the store, and not so much at home, though that day may yet come. But we did hold band rehearsals in my studio, so the kit did get used weekly. And there were a couple of band songs that the drummer wanted to lead on guitar with, so I took the drum throne for those songs. YouTube made it easy to learn what I needed, but it still didn't expand my abilities much. Of course, all this time I'd been working on my own original music and had started to use the drum kit for my songs. It was still really basic beats, but it worked well enough for the most part. Several years later, the rock band disbanded and I started in a folk duo, which didn't require drums, and that kept learning drums on hold. Now my studio is very functional, and I spend a lot of time making music. Through the process, I found that many music producers are using electronic drums or drum samples to add percussion. Acoustic kits are becoming less common, and that does make sense. They're loud and not great if you have neighbors, and they're not as easy to fake as some instruments can be. They can also be tricky to record for several reasons. But I have the kit in the studio, and as tempted as I am to use drum samples and loops, I like the idea of using the real thing, since it's in here with me. As I started this YouTube project, I knew that I'd likely need to use drum samples to make music. It's not all that easy to keep a steady beat, and setting microphones up for drum recording takes time, and I don't have much time to waste, especially when Logic Pro comes with so many options for percussion, all of which are in perfect time and sound great. It's just a matter of searching the library for what I need. And I'm no purist. I take no issue with using electronic instruments. For me, it's all about the music and less about how it's made. But I also like to learn new skills, and because drums have eluded me for so long, I see the challenge as being worth taking up. In my session with Jody Timgren, I had planned to use drum loops for the song. I wanted the track to sound as good as possible, but I made a major error when we chose the tempo. It was an error that I didn't notice until I went to add drum loops to the track. I had botched the tempo choice so badly that I wasn't able to use any of the drum options, including smart features that can accommodate irregular rhythm. That left me with only one choice, the acoustic drums. So I had to come up with an easy drum part, and it worked out. The last 2 songs that I've done didn't include much percussion. One used some cymbals, and the other relied on acoustic guitar strumming to back up the rhythm. Now I have a new song on my workbench, and it needs drums, so I'm splitting the difference. I don't have the right stuff for creating interesting drum parts, so I chose a loop from my library and put it on repeat so I could learn it on my kit. It's a real challenge, but I'll come through with a bit more experience playing with the acoustic drum kit. I still want the kids to play drums. They have the energy and the time to learn, even though it might be a little shameless to grow my own rhythm section.